Hello, this is Dave from the Not So Ancient Chinese Secret Show and DQ Studios, and today we're going to take a look at the Desview T2 Teleprompter here. Full disclosure first, this was sent to me free of charge, but also free of strings attached, so I can say what I want and they won't need to review this review before it gets out to you. So Dave, what's a teleprompter and why would this be useful to me? Well, in the age of COVID, all of us are doing a lot more online presentations. And one of the ways it can help is by giving a rolling text while you're looking at the camera. So you're engaging with your viewers, connecting with them through eye contact, while also having your script go through for you without having to remember all the words. So who the T2 is made for is pretty much anybody who does online presentations or Zoom meetings and wants to create more engaging content where you have better eye contact or better delivery of your content. So why does the T2 even matter? Well, it's readily available. There's links down below in the description to pick one up for yourself. It's also reasonably priced for what it is. And also it's easy to set up and you can use anything from a DSLR, mirrorless cinema camera to even your phone and get better videos by using this thing. And so this isn't the only teleprompter that I've used. I first purchased the tiny little version of this called the Parrot, made by another company. That was great, although my aging eyes can't really just use an iPhone to look at it from so far away. And the Parrot's design was so small that you really couldn't use it with a wide-angle lens. And so it kind of limited its use. A couple years ago, I upgraded to the Glide Gear's iPad teleprompter, which is way bigger, beefier, and has an excellent quality of beam splitting glass. But I also found that it's really big and bulky and heavy, which required a really beefy tripod. I also really don't like the way that the angle of the beam splitting glass attaches. It's only got one fixed angle that's held on by these little tiny pins. And I found that sometimes it seems to sag, not at the 45-degree angle. And because the cloth is just cloth to get rid of all the light so the reflection is nice and sharp, that I found that sometimes I wouldn't be careful enough and I'd get the cloth in the way and it would obscure part of my image. So although I've had different teleprompters, I've never really loved a teleprompter that I have. And so the T2, when I saw the design, it looked like a Parrot grown up. And so I loved the little Parrot, except for the fact it couldn't do wide angle and that it was also too small a text for me. And so when I put the T2 on, I actually was really pleasantly surprised. First of all, let's go over the build quality. Opening the box, I was a little bit concerned how much plastic was used. This is the cover that protects the beam splitting glass, and it was really hard to take on and off the first couple times. But after that, it's actually been much easier, and time will tell, but it seems to be a good quality plastic that they're using. Assembly was a breeze, and there's two different camera mounts on the front that allow you to use either smartphones as your device that you're looking at, or a small tablet. At its base, it has 3/4" 20 standard camera mounts. This allows you to directly attach this onto any camera stand. And what's cool about that is that you don't need a fancy camera to take advantage of what a teleprompter can do for you. You can use your existing smartphone, attach it to the back of the T2, and use this teleprompter to help you give better presentations. The T2 also comes with a whole bunch of step-up rings, and these are metal. So you just attach these to your camera and it's easy enough to slide in. There's two clamps also included in the set. One is for those who need to record onto a smartphone. So this goes onto the back of the T2. And then on the front, there's a double-sided smartphone tablet clamp for the device that you're gonna be reading off of. So let's go over some of the pros. The first pro is how easy and simple this is to set up. And if you're using a camera, you just use the appropriate step-up ring on your lens and you slide the entire T2 right onto the front of it and you're done. So much simpler than the Glide Gear system where you have to mount that onto a stand, position your camera, make sure that there's no cloth that's going to be in the way of your shot and that your angle is not obscured. Another really cool thing about the T2 is the innovative solution for those of us who are just using smartphones to record on or do presentations. So it comes with the smartphone clamp that you need, although you do need to use a second tablet or smartphone as your device that you're reading off of. There's also a super cool bonus. They include this remote, and there's free software from Desview that you can download for iOS or Android that allows you to put your teleprompter text on there, and this remote can control it, which is very, very nice. Another nice thing about the T2 is that it's so lightweight and compact and well designed that it's easily hackable to not only be used with tablets and phones, but you could take off the stand and pretty much put any monitor underneath so that you could either have a secondary monitor from your computer showing you the text, or better yet, what I do, I'm vain, and so I've been doing this for quite a few years, is putting my image in front of the lens so I have direct eye contact with my audience without having to worry about, what I look like. Now that we've gone through some of the pros, what are the cons? One thing is the maximum size of tablet or smartphone that you can use. And these jaws just spring open, and the maximum that you can get in there is about 142 centimeters. And for me, that means an iPad mini. Now, you can't even use the regular sized iPad because the jaws don't go wide enough. And I kind of understand why. All the weight is being taken on from the front of the lens. And so if they've had these larger devices, you kind of put a lot of strain on the mount of your lens position. So, if you are going to hack this and add bigger units, I would recommend a lens support of some sort. One of the pros I mentioned was that they included this remote control, which I thought was an awesome bonus. But one of the negatives about the remote control is that it doesn't always seem to trigger the play and pause or the controls that I want all the time. So sometimes I'll click the button or pull down on the joystick and it won't stop or start. Not really a deal breaker, and because I think it's really a bonus for me, but something to note. The last thing I'm going to mention is the quality of the beam splitting glass. It has a little bit more ghosting than I see on my Glide Gear's beam splitting glass, which has a better image, although it still has some ghosting. What this means is that you'll either have to use a larger font if you've got aging eyes like me, but it doesn't really matter if you're just looking at your image and just wanting to make eye contact with your Zoom call. So how can we make the T2 even better? Well, I love its compact and lightweight design, but one thing that could be better is to make this a toolless assembly. Currently, the tablet smartphone holder on the front requires two tiny little Phillips screws to be assembled and disassembled. And so I prefer if they created a method of thumb screws or something that you wouldn't lose, so that we could actually pack this into a more compact form when we're traveling. Because I could find a lot of uses for this. Even if you're not using it as a teleprompter, I love using it as a secondary monitor so my talent can see themselves and not worry that they're, maybe looking strange or anything. And even for myself when I'm presenting, so that I know exactly how I'm presenting. Live streams and online meetings are here to stay. And for those of us who want to level up our presentations, the Desview T2 is a great teleprompter that won't break the bank. No teleprompter is perfect, but the T2 checks off enough boxes to make it best in class and a great value. It's a well thought out solution that can help us all look a little more professional online. That's it for the review. Thanks for watching. But before I let you go, I do have a thought of the day to share, and it's from Nikki Gumbel. It is said that the first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. The first to forget is the happiest. So here's to being brave, strong, and happy. Thanks for watching. God bless. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.